Hey guys, welcome to recap 2 of Season 5 on this Liverpool Football Manager series. And as you can see here, domination. We have retained the Premier League and in some way. Not even losing a game. Absolutely unbelievable. I don't know how on earth I did it, but we've only drawn 3 and them 3 games were against Blackburn, Tottenham and Aston Villa, I think that was. But apart from that, not losing a single game, beating everyone else, 97 goals. Actually not that many, if I'm going to be honest, considering how many there were. And we only conceded 17, with a plus goal difference of 80. First time ever, probably, unless Arsenal did it in their invincible season, breaking the 100-point barrier. 100 points. How the hell did we do this? Well, I'll take you through now. As you can see, we'll be able to see the fixtures for the upcoming game there, but never mind. See, we're playing Manchester United in the Community Shield. I'm a little bit ahead here, but this is where we are at. Let's see. I'm trying to figure out where we went from last time. Okay, so we actually I talked about obviously losing in the League Cup semi-final. However, we got through that and got to the we actually. There's one for you. 4-0 against Chelsea in the FA Cup 5th round. Don't know how on earth we did that, but we did. We then on to win the League Cup once again. Baffles the mind how I've done that. 5-3 Man United. It's quite an unbelievable game, actually. Very unbelievable game. Paulo Enrique, look at the scores. Enrique, Babacar, Wilson once again proving why he always scores in the big games. And Makeda as lethal as ever. But as you can see, we got to let's see, Tottenham. There's one of the draws. We got to the Champions League quarter-final, only to lose quite badly. We got to the quarter-finals here. As you can see, very comfortable 2-0 home win against Napoli. I'm thinking, okay, maybe if we can just hold out here, we're fine. Turns out, no. Got destroyed in Naples. Cavani, these 3 in particular, Albon, I have to stare at the name and then pronounce it myself. Haruna and Cavani and Albon absolutely destroyed this team. Wilson gave us a chance again, scoring in the big games to make it 5-4 on aggregate. Incredible game, actually, absolutely incredible game. So unfortunately, we couldn't win the Champions League. However, we thrashed Middlesbrough 5-0 at Wembley in the semi-finals, should say, of the FA Cup. Aguero getting a hat-trick there, scoring his 3rd goal in the last minute. I think you can kind of see how Aguero has done this season. Only to lose the FA Cup final on penalties to Manchester United. They got revenge for that League Cup. That League Cup final defeat there. Tayo and Paulo Enrique missing the vital penalties. Wayne Rooney and Aguero scoring. Wayne Rooney should have actually won it earlier for Man United, but they got a goal disallowed. But yeah, so we did the double league and League Cup double, still not bad. So how about the transfers then? Going to have a look at last season very quickly. I know you might have seen a few players, I'll go over them in a moment. 2 players are brought in, I think I've talked about before, are John Onorisa and Nathan D'Alfonso, once again bringing more players back. He was up for, I think, I'm not too sure if I talked about him or not in the last video, but yeah, Risa's back, and he was transferred to City, got him for less than £1 million, why not? And Nathan D'Alfonso, who has grown into a bit of a beast. He's now my new number 9, which I'll explain in a moment, and yeah, he's actually amazing. He's actually really, really good. I've no idea why he's grown to be this good. Maybe it was because Fulham nurtured him well or something, I don't know. But yeah, Nathan D'Alfonso, just under £14 million, bit of a bargain. Let's see, how many has he scored? He scored actually last season. This is just for us. 7 goals and 3 assists in 14 appearances. That's not bad. I mean, he got 20 and 22 with 5 assists for Fulham last season. Not to mention the 4 against us. But these are all the players just shifted. Most of these are young players. But looking at this season then, so the players I've brought in for this season. Now, one thing I try not to do is fiddle with the squad too much. I've kind of had to fiddle a bit since some players are getting older and obviously you've got to replace them. The main one, Fernando Torres, he has finally gone. He's at Manchester City, and if you look at his history, his recent history, you might be able to see why I've offloaded him. And to be honest, £11 million is a bit of a bloody steal. Or at least for me anyway, at least getting enough to taking money from Manchester City, because look, 4 goals in 21 appearances the season before that, and last season 7 in 29 with 7 assists. I mean, that's not a bad assist ratio, but I don't want him for that. I want him to score goals. He's a striker. I don't want him to get a load of assists. And to be honest, he's not getting any younger. He's 31. How much money he's on? Good grief. So yeah, I think that's a bit of a waste of money for them. I've let go all these players here. Brad Jones. I've got Kasper Schmeichel, Valbuena, Wisdom, Pacheco. That guy I didn't even acknowledge his existence, to be honest. Pacheco, he's not grown into the player I thought he'd be. He's gone on a free, and I've replaced him with someone else. Steve Owen's gone. I never really acknowledged him. Arbeloa, just bought him in for a season. He's getting a bit older as well now. He's 32. I just bought him in just as the team. As a sort of a balancing act. I just bought him in whilst we rejig the team. And David Wheat's gone back to Tottenham. Well, back. He was on loan last season, but they've actually bought him now for £2.5 million. So as you can see, he was terrible for us. He only ever made 2 appearances for us, and he was shocking in both. So now the majority of the players I bought in here were mostly. Some of them were reinforcements, but most of them are actually now younger players. This is where regens really start coming in. So about 5 or 6 seasons in, that's when they really start, making big strides into the game, and where you really got to focus in on them. The first one here, just to replace Pacheco, I suppose would be Jermaine Defoe. He was transfer listed by Tottenham, and I figured, well, I've done it with Aaron Lennon, so why can't I do it with Defoe? I mean, he's 32. Kind of a replacement in a way for both Pacheco and Torres, because and you'll find, but I think I've replaced Torres in the modes, as you can see. We'll go through these 2 are regens. We'll go through them with Lukaku. Now, I know it's a bit of a cliche signing Lukaku, but what I've done, unlike most people tend to sign Lukaku in their very first season, the very first transfer window they go into. They spend $6 million. Lukaku bought, and that's it. Then he's in their team. I've done it a bit differently. He is now a Liverpool player. He, though, has spent the last 4 seasons at Barcelona. However, I'd put in a bid in, and I accepted it. So I've got Lukaku, who is now 22. So I've actually bought him at a different time to most other people. So this is, I've been cliched, but I thought, why not? I needed to replace Torres, who's better than Lukaku. So this next one, Jan Mvia. I needed a defensive midfielder, mainly because I just felt I needed one. I needed to reinforce the midfield. The assistants were very adamant I needed to add force the midfield as well, so I got Mvia. And finally, some of these regens. Now, the first one here is Alan Irons from Birmingham. Now, he's in the reserves, he's only 19. However, if we go here, he is the under-21s captain of Scotland, which is pretty cool. Next one, Matt Beckett. I've been chasing this guy for a long time, actually. He's got a lot of potential, actually. He's 18 years old. Chelsea were after him, Arsenal were after him, I think Man United were after him as well, but I got him. And he's the under-20s vice captain for England, so it's little things like that. This next one was recommended to me weirdly. This is very odd. Everything about this was odd. Gujira Harada, another regen, £250,000. He's 17. He's a Belgian-Japanese origin thing. I have no idea, but because Liverpool are affiliated with Genk, if anyone bids for one of their players, usually you don't care for Genk because they're not quality, are they? In fairness to Liverpool, but someone bid in for them and said, because you're affiliated with them, if you want to match this other team's bid, we'll accept it automatically. So I did for 250k, and he's actually not bad. If we go to his reports, he's potential to be a quality player. He isn't far from the quiet potential of Sergio Aguero. Obviously, he's not there at the moment, but he's only 17. But it's a bit of a weird one. This lad called Bomfim here. Now, I signed him last season, but the work permit didn't go through, so it was a bit weird. I got him last season, but I had to wait a whole season for him to come through. And finally here, this one I've just signed, as you can see. Well, not just signed, actually, quite a while ago, but not too sure how you pronounce this in Norwegian. I might call him Tabe because he's Norwegian. Terry Hansen. I think it's Terry, isn't it? Yeah, it's Norwegian Terry. Obviously, signed in Norwegian. No, your fans are Norwegian. If we go to the reports here, he's got potentially a quality player. Another one, he's an attacking left mid. So, I've reinforced the youth this time after letting quite a few of them go. So, yeah, that's what I've got so far. Obviously, there is still other stuff to do. maybe a few more dealings. One player that has really come on leaps and bounds season is this Atkinson kid. You may have seen him before. Remember him when we were doing the live commentaries? He is now my number 11. If you look at his history, I mean, he made 10 appearances, 2 goals and 2 assists. He was pretty good. And regen's really starting to put the hammer down now. And we're really beginning to see the regens in power. I think that's pretty much it. I don't think I've got much else to say. In fact, actually, league table, there's some of the teams that came up then. Leicester came up. Southampton came back up for the first time in the Premier League for about 10 years. And Rochdale, I don't get that either, but Rochdale are now in the Premier League after they were promoted. Their playoff actually was against Huddersfield, who actually also finished like 6th, I think 5th or 6th. And so I must say, very odd indeed. This is currently state of play in the Championship after one game. We've got teams we've got in here. Norez, say Huddersfield are in there. Doncaster, Wigan are down there for some reason, losing the first game. Bolton, who got relegated. Fulham, they got relegated. Blackpool got relegated as well. So that's pretty much it. If you want to look, by the way, for some, we're going to go over very quickly some players who stood out last season, but these are very hit and miss. He's like Glenn Johnson, because he's a shit defender, but he can score goals. As you can see, 14 appearances last season, not that great, but 4 goals, and very crucial goals at that, and he would do pretty well. Another one here was Xabi Alonso. Now, we saw him, he got injured for a few months, so his appearances went down, but 3 very big goals indeed. 20 appearances, you can't afford that for £1 million, can you? So Jack Wilshere's come on very, very well indeed as well. Although he didn't get any goals last season, he got 7 assists, which is very good. And that's in the Premier League, by the way, I'm talking, not excluding Europe. Eden Hazard's now just the ultimate playmaker. 16 assists, absolutely phenomenal. Only the 1 goal, but it was a big goal. I think it was against Everton last minute and the Merseyside derby. It was very good. Paulo Henrique, another very, very good playmaker, getting 8 goals and 11 assists in 30 appearances. And Babacar, well, he was atrocious at the start of the season, but I gave him a huge kick up the arse. 16 and 23, matching his record for last season as well, also the season beforehand. And he was phenomenal, but the phenomenal performance overall goes to Sergio Aguero. He was absolutely incredible. 29 in 37, 8 assists as well. He dominated. I think he was, although unbelievably he wasn't the top scorer in the Premier League. I believe Makeda was with like 32, but he was like I think he was like 3rd. And Nathan Delfonso as well, who also has a lot of potential now as well. But so that is where we are at the moment. I don't believe I've got anything else to go over. Pablo Dijon, a lot of interest every time coming with him. So we're going to play Manchester United in the Community Shield next up. I'm going to report back for that in a few. I'd say about a week probably, and then we play Arsenal at home, the first game of the season, and then we go to Spotland, which I think is one of the best names ever for a ground at Rochdale. I think that is everything. I don't think I've got to go over. We end the season, by the way, at Leicester coming to us. Very odd end to the season. Newcastle, Southampton, and Leicester. One final thing just to show you. Very odd happened. We played Everton back to back. Played them at home first, and as I was talking about before, Hazard getting. Look at that. I can only assume it was for the Kieran Gibbs injury. Who, by the way, Everton have been taken over by a consortium, which I'm going to go to my notes actually in a moment. And then we played them at Goodson Park and battered them, which is weird. I think I changed around Babacar. That's why Babacar got a hat-trick. I think this was the game where I said that I gave him a good kick up the arse. And he certainly obliged and finished the season well. So I'm just going to go to my notebook very quickly. Let me just find all this. This one here, now, we talked about this 0-0 against Aston Villa. We had a goal disallowed, and I can tell you for a fact, now I can't prove it, obviously. Actually, could I? I don't think I can, without having to forge through tons of footage. But this was onside. I can tell you for a fact it was onside. Hazard was on, and we should have scored and won that game, but we didn't. Nathan Delfonso won the Young Players Player of the Year, which is cool. Eden Hazard came 2nd. Goal of the season, which I'll show you now, from Danny Welbeck, which is a bit of a peach. I'll show you that in a moment. He's playing for Blackburn now. I won Manager of the Year again. Players Team of the Year. Pepe Reina was in goal. Wilson and Agger absolutely unbelievable partnership at centre back. These two, brilliant. Enrique and Aguero, and Alfonso and Hazard were on the bench. And final last bit of news before we look at the goal of the season is that we have now relocated to the new stadium. Very much doubt this will happen in real life. Of course, doubt the fact that we'll move to a new stadium by 2015, but never mind. And the only bad thing, I suppose, about it, as you can see, there's a lot of positives to come from it. But the main problem is now with it is if we go to the facilities, 61,000, which I believe is 1,500 more than the Emirates. Sounds good. Yes, got a roof. Excellent. The name, though, is rather uninspiring. Liverpool Stadium. I can't imagine that's what the new stadium will be called. Imagine that. You can imagine John Henry at the unveiling the stadium. I declare this building Liverpool Stadium. Yeah, I can't imagine that happening. Yeah, so that's our new stadium. So we're going to get in a lot of money, and that's pretty good for us. So we'll have a look at the goal of the season. This audacious lob from Danny Welbeck, and then I'll end the video and let you get on with the day. In terms of playing this, continuing this more, I'm just going to keep playing this until I get bored, or if people say, Jub, quit now, don't want to see this anymore, bored. So I'll just keep playing myself. But look at this from Danny Welbeck. Look at that, for just the run, and then the chip as well. Fantastic. So that's your recap. You are fully up to date with this Liverpool team. And with that now, I'm going to go ahead and play Season 6. Oh boy. Thanks for watching, guys. See you later.